What's up, guys? So I'm sure you can tell by the title and thumbnail. Today we're going to be talking about rough country lift kits, giving my personal experience with running them because I've had them on several different trucks. Full drop bracket here, had a spindle lift from Rough Country on Larry, had their leveling kit on Chomper for a long time. I've got their 6-inch drop bracket lift on Denim, and so I feel like I have enough experience to truly talk about it because the world on the internet is very argumentative. There's people over here that say that Rough Country is horrible and you should not run it on anything ever, and then there's the other side which thinks it's a really good budget friendly lift kit or leveling kit or spindle lift. And I would have to agree with that because I've had good experience with all of them, and I'm not paid to say any of this by Rough Country. Have never been paid, will probably never been paid. Please let me get paid. Either way, I have no reason to lie to you. So this is just my experience. Now, I installed this lift kit about a year and 4 months ago. I've got about 9,000 miles on it, so pretty good miles on it, and it's been amazing. I've really enjoyed it. This is the 7.5-inch with their Vertex coilovers. The only issue that I've ever had is the bolt that holds the panhard bar on the bracket, the new bracket. It came loose twice and the rear end was shifting. I get under there and you could push it. I put thread locker on it this third time and now it stayed. I should have done that to begin with. Rough Country is a budget friendly lift kit. It's not the most premium thing in the world. If it was, it wouldn't cost what it does. So this is like a $1,100 kit if you don't have the Vertex coilovers. My FTS lift on my Duramax was $5,500. That's a huge difference between them. Now, the only reason why I bought the FTS is because I absolutely love the chrome plated plate front cross member. I think it's the best looking lift kit there is, so that's why I got it. But you can't really see it just because of the angle. Our powder coated Rough Country lift kit looks really good. I like that drop bracket design. It looks sweet. I like the one on Denim. I've had good experience with it so far, but not nearly as many miles as this one. So we'll talk more about that once we get more miles on it. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to be a BDS, a FTS, but at the end of the day, it's kind of all just metal. Now, there's obviously different engineering going into it because like on my FTS, the only thing that I had to cut on that truck, which is a different truck than this, was the rear drop bracket for the front differential to go down. Now, you would have to do that on this, but this is a two-wheel drive, so I didn't have to cut that part, but I had to cut many other parts that I didn't have to on that kit. So there is different engineering into different lift kits, and I had to cut quite a bit on Denim for that 6-inch Rough Country lift. So that is one thing to consider when buying a lift kit. Some do not require as much cutting as others, but like I said, a lot of it is just metal. So how much could you screw that up? Either way, I think Rough Country gets a bad rep because Jim Bob says that his uncle's dad had a 6-inch Rough Country and it wore his tires out, but he installed it himself, didn't get an alignment, and he hit every mud hole in the county going 50 miles an hour, and shockingly, his suspension shot. So drop your comment of your real world experience with your Rough Country lift kits, leveling kits, spindle lifts. I don't think they make lowering kits. Either way, let's go take Betty for a drive, talk about how it has ridden and does ride now with the 7.5-inch lift kit. For starters, go ahead and excuse all the dash lights. Those were all on the truck before I installed this lift kit, so no, they were not caused by the Rough Country lift. They were already here, unfortunately, and they stayed. But yeah, here's just a little showcase. Not a very smooth road, but not like super uneven potholey either, and it drives just fine. Now, we are currently on 22s, 37s, and they balanced out good, they ride good, and that definitely helps with the lift. Now, those little divots and stuff in the road, you can definitely feel them in the steering wheel, but it's not like darting all over the road or anything like that. It's just, you know, you can feel it. I'll put my hand on top just so you can see the movement or lack thereof, because it's a pretty stable, and I'm not holding like super death grip on here. I'm just got my hand sitting on it. This thing rides good, y'all, and that's probably one of the reasons why I have kind of fallen in love with it. I have never been a Tahoe guy, and now I have, for the past year, driven this thing like at least 4 or 5 days a week. If I'm driving like to work and stuff, I'm driving Big Betty. It's just extremely convenient. I like how it rides. It's smooth. It's loud.
you know, if you have something that drives crappy, like, you'll get annoyed at it. You'll just be like just fuming on the inside some days going home from work. You just like, it's just icing on top of the cake that just really gets under your skin. Thankfully, don't have that issue with Big Betty. I've really enjoyed it. So this is with the Vertex coilovers, which I'm sure does help. I can't speak for the standard shocks. That is always going to be one of the things that you can and should upgrade if you do go with rough country, is the shocks. Maybe at first leave them on there, but then if you got the money, go ahead, upgrade to some Bilsteins or get the Vertex coilovers. They are awesome, and I have really enjoyed them. So maybe the standard kit doesn't ride as good, but at least this 7.5 inch cranked up pretty high on the Vertex coilovers, it rides freaking great to me. And the 6-inch lift that's on Denim, which is just the base kit, they don't offer a Vertex coilovers or anything on that, torsion bar life, I've not had any complaints with it either. It's not as smooth as this truck, but it's also, what, 15 years older than this, so that would be kind of expected that this should ride better, as well as this is not on absolutely ridiculous tires. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's been great. I've had really no complaints with Big Betty on this lift kit since doing it. I'm about to freaking start sweating, holy crap. It's like freezing at night and then burning up during the middle of the day. It's such an odd time of the year right now. But Chomper with a leveling kit, I mean, that's literally just a torsion key and their shocks. So when you're going from probably a completely clapped out, okay, pause. This is a really rough spot of the road. That's a really rough spot on this road. And while I did have to hold the steering wheel and I could definitely feel the whole truck kind of taking on those bumps, it wasn't miserable. This is, I mean, you can feel it right here. It's like ridges all through this road. And in some of the vehicles I've driven in the past, it is just absolutely super freaking annoying. And you got to really hang on. This is a good example of a truck that you lift and it literally drives the exact same as when it was leveled, which is always amazing. Now, what was I saying? Oh yeah, you know, if you're doing a leveling kit on an old truck, the rough country shocks are going to be better than the ones that were probably on it from the factory, which are now 10, 15, 20 years old. So you're not going to be downgrading going to rough country from a clapped out factory 20-year-old shock, okay? You're just not. And our coilover, whatever you want to call it, on Terry, our 03, I think it was 03 Tundra, which they were great, a little stiff, but didn't put enough miles on it to potentially break them into where they were nice and cushy, but it definitely lifted the truck and was better than the ones that were on there. And then, like I said, leveling kits are basic. Spindle lift essentially is just a new knuckle, and then their shocks retain your springs. There's a bunch of different options depending on what vehicle you have, but overall, I don't have any complaints. I've always had really good luck with rough country. Y'all know I install personally all my lifts, but then I do go get them aligned. All right, guys, well, I wanted to end off this rough country video with the two trucks that have full drop bracket lift kits from rough country. I think both of them, for what they are, ride really good. Obviously, they're both not brand new trucks, even brand new lift trucks, but I don't have any complaints, dude. I think Betty rides great for what it is. I think Denim rides great for what it is. We're gonna have a full in-depth ride-along, tire review, rough country lift review, all that kind of stuff on Denim at some point. But just to wrap the end of this video up, Betty on the 7.5, Denim on the 6-inch. I have no complaints. I have no complaints. So yeah, there it is, boys. I think rough country is a solid option. Definitely leave some feedback, real world feedback, your truck, your lift, how has it been, and don't be biased towards your truck just because it's yours. If it rides like garbage, drop a comment, let me know it rides like garbage. I would tell you if either one of these rode terrible. Neither one of them are buttery smooth. You get on a bad chewed up back road, they ain't riding great. But on a normal road, normal circumstances, I have zero complaints with either one. So that's enough rambling. Hopefully you did enjoy. Comment down below. Let me know. Subscribe if you're new. Ring that bell notification. And I will see y'all in the next video.